It seems Julie's death didn't provide a clear enough lesson to you. Perhaps this will suffice.
Ryan's got your number. No doubt he'll be sending company. Best to head back to the lab entrance and seal her up. Might be the only way to keep the splicers out. I'll send you a wee package through the pneumo. It's not much, but every little bit counts. Did you get that door closed? Good. That should buy some time.
Better get used to those radio transmissions, because Atlas is going to call you at least 2 more times before the Lazarus Vector finishes doing its thing. Anyway, welcome back, Amiibros, to Bioshock. In the last episode, we collected all the parts necessary to create the Lazarus Vector, allowing us to save the trees in Arcadia and bring oxygen back to the city of Rapture. In this episode, while the Lazarus Vector works its magic, we have a defend the position segment. Doesn't last too long, but you're definitely going to be making the most out of your defensive items. In this case, a lot of proximity mines. And when you know, Atlas's care package contains some proximity mines. Oh, that Atlas. Always looking out for us. Man, we'd be screwed royally if we didn't have him watching our backs, that's for sure. But on the topic of proximity mines, you want to be sure to set them far away from the security turrets as well as the camera. Because proximity mines, if they go off, they have a huge blast radius. And if they happen to be near a security turret while they go off, that turret will blow up, and that's no good. You mainly want to set them where the splicers are coming in from. You know, be careful also not to agitate the Big Daddy with them, as again, if it goes off, the Big Daddy will be pissed at you, and you do not need a pissed Big Daddy on top of everything else you're dealing with. So it'd be really good to carry Hypnotized Big Daddy on you. Unfortunately, I don't do that because I'm dumb. Alongside Hypnotized Big Daddy, there are 2 other plasmids that are absolutely fantastic for this section. Those would be Target Dummy and Insect Swarm. Target Dummy, I've already outlined what makes that plasmid so good all the way back in Neptune's Bounty, even though I don't use it because, again, I'm a dum-dum. But here, it works incredibly well. It keeps the splicers off your hacked security turrets, allowing them to last longer. You know, they're attacking each other, as well as you can lead them into proximity traps, keeping them far away from the Big Daddy and pissing them off, which is really good if you're not carrying Hypnotized Big Daddy on you. Alongside that, Insect Swarm is really good for this section too, because, like I said, Insect Swarm is good at dealing with crowds of splicers, as well as halting their movement entirely, allowing them to be open for an attack either by you or your hacked security turrets, as well as them being noticed by your security camera, and which will call in the bots, and presto, you've got a bunch of dead splicers on the floor, and you're perfectly fine. Alongside that, actually, there is a health station in the other room. I recommend you hack that immediately, because, again, if a splicer is so much bleeding, they will go instantly towards the health station and they'll heal up, and that's no good for you. But if the health station is hacked, they'll poison themselves, and that's one less splicer you have to worry about. So there's that. Again, I don't do that because, admittedly, I play this section horribly. Because my main method is, I'll just brute force it. Fuck playing defensively. And it bites me in the ass, majorly.
Ryan's skin jobs aren't the type to get complacent.
Well, that's a shame, Atlas. I was hoping, I could calm them down. We all have Team Crumpets together, We can settle our differences in a reasonable manner, but I guess not. Gotta beat them within an inch of their life, or shoot them in the chest just to put them down and calm the situation. But, in any event, there are also there is a Circus of Value machine as well as a U-Invent machine should you find yourself running low on resources. Yeah, the section isn't too long, but still, don't be afraid to make a mad dash to stock up on medkits, Eve hypos, or ammunition for your individual guns. You know, you can never be too careful, especially when you have swarms of splicers coming at you, as well as a Big Daddy roaming the halls. Having said that, though, if you feel the need, don't be afraid to swap out the plasmids you're most comfortable with, like Electrobolt or Incinerate or even Freeze for that matter, for this section. Because remember, you do have a chemical thrower which covers fire, ice, and electricity. Now, I don't recommend keeping it this way, as Electrobolt is a lot more reliable than Electric Gel. But, you know, having Incinerate, or having Napalm and Liquid Nitrogen replace Incinerate and Freeze, either for this section or for the remainder of the game, is an easy recommendation I can make. Because again, the chemical thrower, like the machine gun, is good for dealing with crowds of splicers, or it's mainly used for crowd control, is what I mean to say. As you see, we're finally done. So why am I not running up towards the misting machine? Well, it's because these stupid Houdini splicers keep teleporting left and right. I'm trying to kill them with my mighty wrench and save ammo, but they're making things very difficult, and I just say, fuck it, not worth it, as I am out of medkits, but I have a shit ton of E-Pipos. And I've also pissed off the Big Daddy. Luckily, he's not following me, and we can just activate the misting machine. Breathe it in.
Well done, lad. Take a deep breath and enjoy it. Then head over to Rolling Hills and get the bathysphere. Next stop is Ryan's house. It's time for blood.
Atlas was always a fan of the movie There Will Be Blood. Actually, did There Will Be Blood come out at this time? This game does take place in 1960, so I'm not too sure. I'll probably put a date on screen right now, whether or not it did come out during this time or if it came out later. But in any event, I'd say it's time we test out Electric Gel. Look at that. Boom! Look at all that damage. Seriously, look at all that. Oh, look at how fast the chemical thrower consumed the Electric Gel. Jesus. Yeah, that's without the reduced consumption rate. But as you saw right there, Electric Gel did a fuck ton of damage to the Big Daddy, and all I was doing was just standing there. The Big Daddy couldn't do anything. This is what I'm talking about when I say that Electric Gel is the best weapon you can utilize against the Big Daddies. It makes fights with them a complete non-issue. Because, again, like I said, electricity stuns the Big Daddies. Electric Gel, on top of stunning the Big Daddies, also deals damage similar to that of Napalm. And as you see right there, it eats up their health like nothing. You know, so very important that you stock up on it, or you stock up on as much of it as you can find. Luckily, we find even more over here. This is also why I was saying to collect as much distilled water in the farmer's market as you can, as, again, that is one of the materials needed to create Electric Gel. And other materials needed to craft it aren't as easy to come by, as Electric Gel, understandably, is one of the more harder things to invent at U-Invent stations. You know, if it was so easily accessible, it'd certainly take a lot of the bite out of the Big Daddies. You know, Rosies wouldn't be too much of a hassle, and Bouncers, they'd just go down like that. So, you know, just keep in mind of extra materials that you can use.
Why are you so resistant to the traditional methods of separating a man from his soul? You're not CIA, are you? You belong to Atlas. The one roach I can't seem to exterminate. Don't worry. I just need time to find the proper poison.
I mean, Ryan, I don't dress like CIA, you know. I'm wearing a sweater and some pants. Because all CIA apparently dress like that, I guess. But we are finally done with Arcadia. We can now make our way closer to Ryan. Next time on Bioshock, we'll be arriving at the next level, Fort Frolic. See you guys then.
I believe in no God, no invisible man in the sky. But there is something more powerful than each of us, a combination of our efforts, a great chain of industry that unites us. But it is only when we struggle in our own interest that the chain pulls society in the right direction. The chain is too powerful and too mysterious for any government to guide. Any man who tells you different either has his hand in your pocket or a pistol to your neck.